Now for these next problems, we have two formulas for compounding interest. One has us compounding interest at regular intervals. That is the first formula. That actually looks more complicated. That is this A equals P with parentheses 1 plus R over N to the NT. Now, the P in the formula stands for the principal in the account, meaning the money you're starting out with. The 1 is just making sure that you're tacking something on to the original amount. R is the interest rate. Be careful, it needs to be as a decimal. So what the interest rate is a decimal, what does that mean? It means if the interest rate is, let's say, 6% as a decimal, that means take the 6 and divide it by 100, and that will turn into 0.06. That's what you would use for your R, would be the 0.06. Okay, the N here in your formula, which you actually see twice, is the number of times per year. So, for instance, if it's quarterly, that means 4 times a year, your N would be 4. If it is every month, well, there's 12 months in a year, so that would be 12 times a year, so your N would be 12. And your last thing that you would input here is your T. Your T is the number of years. So if you're doing something for 5 years, you would use 5. If you're doing something for 6.5 years, you're going to actually use 6.5. Is however many years you're going to actually be doing something for. The only thing you have to be careful about on this one is that you type things in very carefully into your calculator. The second formula is much simpler. The P is A equals PE to the RT. And remember, E is just that exponential number. Remember, E is approximately 2.7. It's like a number pi. It keeps on going forever. There's an E button on your calculator that you can use. Again, R is just like before, is the interest rate, but again as a decimal. So you'd still need to divide it by 100 and turn it into a decimal. T is still going to be the time in years, just like it was in the last time. Because we're compounding continuously, it continuously means you're always compounding interest on itself. It means we don't have to worry about how many times per year, it's just happening continuously, constantly on its own. P is again still the principal, the amount of money you're starting out with. And just like on the last one, whatever comes out of this formula, the A is your final amount that you are getting. Principal and interest all together give you your final amount, A.